Yes, goats can eat roses. As a matter of fact, they love to eat roses, and if you were wondering if or not roses will harm your goats, you have nothing to worry about. Although you have roses in your garden for decoration purposes, and you are also a goat keeper, you might want to fence off your garden as soon as possible, because those guys will go straight for roses, and you will be amazed how fast they will eat an entire plant. Are roses good for goats? After a lot of research, we can safely say that roses are harmless for goats. But if you ask for any particular benefit to goats associated with feeding on roses is not really known. However, around the world, goats have been widely used to get rid of multiflora roses that grow out of bounds and are really difficult to contain. Allegheny News and Events shared an instance when goats were brought in Erie National Wildlife Refuge, where multiflora rose was spreading uncontrollably and was crowding out other native plants. To control and minimize the spread, 8 goats were brought, which grazed and cleared 1/3 of an acre per week. Interesting, isn't it? So, roses are suitable for goats without any doubt. Are roses bad for goats in any way? No, roses are not bad for goats in any way. Goats relish roses, and it is the first thing they go for when let freely graze near a garden. If you think thorns can be a problem, then you are wrong. Thorns don't affect goats in any harmful way. This fact does mess with the mind that why don't thorns stick in their mouths? But, it is a common observation of many goat keepers that goats easily eat thorny plants while showing no sign of harm. What flowers are poisonous to goats? It is a common perception that goats will eat anything, but it is not entirely true. Although if the pasture is scarce due to some reason, then this perception becomes true. So, whether fodder is scarce or not, you should keep an eye on what your goats have been eating. Don't neglect as you can face some adverse outcomes. Below, we will share some flowers that are toxic to goats and should be watched out for. Remember, they can result in sudden death. Oleander, greasewood, water hemlock, deathcarners, oak, cocklebur. What plants are toxic to goats? There are several plants that might be growing on your farm and can cause death to your goats. If not dead, they will adversely affect your goat's health. We can divide many of those plants into 2 broad categories. There might be more that are yet to be identified, so if you think your goat has consumed a toxic plant, contact your veterinarian right away. So, those 2 broader categories are as follows. Plants that contain alkaloid. Cyanogenic plants. Any plant belonging to these categories is toxic to goats. Watch out for them, and also do not let them grow on or near your farm. Summary. Goats love roses. They will eat an entire plant of a rose within minutes. So yes, goats can eat roses without any harmful outcomes. Some ornamental plants such as oleander are toxic to goats and can be deadly. However, roses are not one of them. So, if you want to let your goats graze on roses, go ahead. You have nothing to worry about.